Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Chef Vic Cuisine. Today we're making a Margherita pizza. Now this recipe celebrates the simplicity of fresh ingredients, with tangy tomatoes, creamy mozzarella, and fragrant basil coming together on a crisp crust, creating a culinary masterpiece. So let's get started. All right, let's dive into this recipe. So making the pizza dough first, in a medium-sized bowl, we're going to add in 2.5 cups worth of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of granulated white sugar, half a teaspoon of active dry yeast, and 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, whisking those all together until they're well combined. We're also going to add half a cup's worth of warm water, about 110 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit, as well as 1 tablespoon of olive oil. You want to mix those in with either rubber spatula or your hands until the dough just combines. This will have a somewhat dry texture at first. Then you want to transfer this to a lightly floured working surface and knead the dough by hand again for about 3 minutes. It should be sticky at this point, and to keep it from sticking to your fingers, dust the dough with flour as needed. Alternatively, you can always transfer the dough to a stand mixer fitted with a hook attachment and knead the dough for 3 to 4 minutes instead. You want to keep kneading the dough until it's smooth and elastic, and as it kneads, you want to add 1 tablespoon of water at a time until it becomes smooth and elastic. You should need no more than about 4 tablespoons worth of water at this stage. Now you want to lightly grease a large bowl with olive oil and place the dough inside the bowl. You want to cover the bowl with plastic wrap and allow the dough to rise for about 2 hours or until it's doubled in size. And while that's rising, you want to place a pizza stone about 8 inches away from the broiler element of your stove, and that's typically on the second rack of the oven. You also want to preheat your oven to 500 degrees Fahrenheit or 260 degrees Celsius for at least 1 hour before baking the pizza. And on to making our pizza sauce. While the oven is preheating, we're going to need 1 cup's worth of pureed canned San Marzano tomatoes. The flavor of the pizza sauce using these tomatoes cannot be denied. You have to go with this brand, trust me. And so you want to place those into a small blender and puree them. If you can find them pureed in a can, you can use that as an alternative too, but I always find whole tomatoes for this recipe. So in a small bowl, you want to add in your pureed tomatoes, 3 garlic cloves that have been grated, 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil, about half a teaspoon's worth of kosher salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. You want to whisk those all together until they're well combined, and you can set this aside for now. Now that our dough's had time to rise, you want to split the dough into 2 equal parts. Some of the trapped air will be released in this process. You want to wrap each portion in plastic wrap and allow them to rest for about 10 minutes. While they're resting, you want to sprinkle a pizza peel with 1 tablespoon's worth of cornmeal and a light dusting of all-purpose flour. Now you want to use your hands to gently stretch out one of the balls of pizza dough into roughly a 10-inch circle. Now this does not have to be uniform. If you go to Naples and Italy, you often find a non-uniform pizza. They still taste amazing, but just try your best. If the dough is too springy and elastic, you can always allow it to rest for 5 more minutes before stretching it again. You want to aim for the edges to be slightly thicker, but you want the center of the dough to be thin. A good test of that is if you hold it up to the light, you should see the light come through the center of the pizza. Now you want to gently transfer this dough to the prepared pizza peel. You want to drizzle on 1 teaspoon's worth of olive oil over the entire dough. And we're also going to spoon on about 1/2 cup's worth of the pizza sauce in the center of the dough, spreading it out towards the edges, but making sure to leave about 1 inch from the edge bare for the crust. We're also going to sprinkle on 1 tablespoon of Parmigiano Reggiano cheese over the pizza sauce. We're also going to top with half of our sliced mozzarella cheese. For this recipe, that'll be 4 ounces worth, placing it evenly across the pizza center. You also want to slice up about 3 to 5 basil leaves and place them evenly around the pizza. You want to open the oven and gently and carefully slide the pizza from the pizza peel to your pizza stone. We're going to bake this just for 7 to 9 minutes, or until the crust is golden brown and the cheese is bubbling and lightly caramelized. You want to carefully remove the pizza from the pizza stone using your pizza peel, and then place it onto a large cutting board. Here you can always drizzle on some additional olive oil, 1 more tablespoon of the Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. I like adding on 1.5 tablespoons worth of pesto sauce, as well as a dash or 2 of red chili flakes. For garnishment, I like adding on 1 to 2 sprigs of basil as well. And with that, your margherita pizza is done. This recipe makes 2 large margherita pizzas, so you'd always just repeat the previous steps using the other half of the dough. It's best to prepare the second pizza after the first one is out of the oven and eaten, as they are best served right out of the oven. So if you've been following along at home, congrats again, you've made one Italian classic. You can always try using heirloom tomatoes or buffalo mozzarella for gourmet variation on this dish. But when you do try this at home, be sure to tag me at Chef Vic Cuisine or hashtag Chef Vic Cuisine so I can see your great takes on this dish. As always, this recipe and many more can be found in my cookbook, Chef Vic Cuisine Volume 5, Mastering Your Inner Chef. That's available on Amazon. I'll be sure to leave a link to that in my description box. And feel free to click the pop-up on your screen for more information on that as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed learning how to make this pizza. And if you did, make sure you smash that like button for me. It's one of the best ways to show support for the channel. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button too. And feel free to share this recipe with all your family and friends. And stay tuned for next week for another delicious Italian meal. You'll tend to find out I really like Italian food. My chicken cacciatore. This one's really easy to make and feeds plenty. I can't wait for you guys to try this at home. But once again, thank you all so much for the support and watching this video. I really do appreciate it. You can always check out more recipes on my page now. YouTube thinks you'll like these videos, so let's see if they're right. And I'll catch you next time on another episode of Chef Vic Cuisine. And until then, peace.